Hello everyone and welcome to today's trading session. Today is 12th of March 2024 and we already had a very important news events release at 8:30, which was a CPI. So let me show on economic calendar. Over here, as you can see, we had at 8:30 New York local time CPI releases, and then for this day we have nothing else. So that's very volatile move over here that we can see, and now we are starting to trade somewhere around the 50% of this range that it was created, really close to 50%. So far, I'm just looking at the charts right now. As we are somewhere around the midpoint right now, there is nothing I can do. I'm just trying to look if even I had opportunity to go short in this movement to the downside, but not really so. Let me start with ES, but also I want to check again because I got a notification on the Trade08 platform that there is higher volume. So I just want to see. Okay, so the volume is much higher and the open interest is almost the same. So I'm not sure if I should remain trading here. I'll also check ES. Okay, ES is already higher on the new contract, so that's something that I will need to change. So let me add that in my list. Okay, and probably I will also go to NQ for the other continuous contract, which will be NQM 2024. So let me add it. I think it's this one already. So that's for the micros. And I will be trading only micros here, so I think that's enough. But I need to also change it in my trading platform. So now I will need to start marking things on this contract instead of this one. This is for March 2024, and I will be already going through the June. So let's start first with ES. So again, I will start with a higher time frame. So for this week, for Monday, we can see we started trading quite lower, and now we are retracing higher. I'm not sure if this will be a swing high created or if we are reaching much higher. So for now, I'm not really confident in either way, but let's see how it will pan out. So we can see we traded in this volume imbalance, and again in these BCs, we were not able to touch this buy side imbalance, but we had two down close candles. Now we are trading quite on the daily chart in the middle of this range. On the 4-hour, we were trading in this imbalance, the buy side imbalance, and then we were reaching higher. Now we had another imbalances, which with the bodies of the candles we are respecting, and this could also potentially be an order block on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour, this is through the news. We wicked up and wicked down. So now it's going to be difficult quite to say where we are heading. But for now, I'm going to mark the high of this candle and the low. This will be also the sell side liquidity as the next draw. I don't see any inefficiencies over here apart from this one. We didn't quite get there, but let me just highlight it. This is on the 1-hour gap. On the 4-hour, there is no fair value gap. On the 15-minute chart, There is quite a small one here, so let me note that one as well, because it's closer. So that's why I just want to note it. 15-minute fair value gap. Okay. Now we are also trading inside this one. I'm not sure if we will be respecting it or if we are going to reach lower. That we were just trying to sweep the buy side liquidity here from Friday PM session and also the London highs, and then we will reach lower. I'm not sure if we will get that today, but it's already too late for me to get myself in a position for shorts. But yeah, that's what I can see here. I will also mark the 50% of this wick. Could be a really sensitive level. I notice on NFP or on CPI news events, this is sometimes a level which the market respects. I will keep the 5-minute there. I think I like it more. We also swept this low from yesterday, but there is still quite sell side here, here, and here. We have these two equal lows that I was saying. This is a really good potential zone where the market can draw to. But on ES, for sure, we will not get that because that's really far. But let's see. So on the upside, we have those fair value gaps on the 15-minute and 1-hour chart. And on the downside, we have this big wick that we formed on CPI releases, the liquidity of that wick, and maybe from Monday AM session trading low over here, but that's 53 handle. So the market wouldn't really need to be one-sided throughout the whole session for it to get there. But for now, I am not confident in either way. So let's see how the market will behave. So let me go on NQ. And I will need to do the same because I have no drawings here, just because it's a, again, new contract. Over here, very similar, but we are trading inside this down close candle, which might be an important level. We already, during this week, tried to go again to the midpoint of this body. We didn't quite get there yet, so we will see if this week we will reach lower or not. On the daily chart, we made the displacement lower. We were not able to get this low, which I thought that we would do on this day, on Tuesday, 5th of March. Then we made a new high. And now this really seems like a swing high, but we will need more price action to be sure that this is the time when we can see, or we can start seeing, lower prices. So on the daily chart, we're quite in a range, which I don't really like. I'm not really confident in either way, and it's hard to pick tops and to be also trying to sell such high when we don't know how long it can just reach higher and higher. On the 4-hour, it seems really similar to the ES. On the 4-hour, we can see we have a small fair value gap right here. 4-hour fair value gap. And then the sell side liquidity here. And another one here. This will be buy side liquidity. The next potential draw. But this is also still a really big sell side liquidity pool where the market can draw. 220 handles is not that hard for NQ. Also with the fact that we have already had such a big news events in the market during this day. So it might go there, but again, the market would really need to be one-sided for it to deliver so many handles in one movement. We have traded on the 1-hour chart up, sweeping the buy side liquidity from London session and trading again inside this 1-hour fair value gap from Friday. We were noticing it also yesterday, how we respected this level and went lower, sweeping out this low. So let's see if we can still favor the market going down, or what will be the price action for today. On the 1 hour is again a bit tough for me to say what I want to favor. Still, the sell side liquidity would be fine to see market navigates for those levels, but I don't want to hold my bias really strong for that to be delivered. During the news events, we are not able to sweep any of these lows, whereas ES was able to. So this might be a good sell side liquidity. But for me to put any entry now, it's going to be difficult. I cannot position myself in anything right now. That would be really outside of my rules. I might not get any setup today, just because if it keeps running down, based on my rules, I would have no option to get any short. On the 15-minute, we can see we might be forming a fair value gap right here. There is probably a new day opening gap over here. I can mark it, but I will see how much I will leave it open because I don't want to have a lot of things on my chart. So far, if I can say, I noticed there are many sell side imbalances on the 30-second chart that I can see are being all the time respected. None of them are being violated at all. So there could be a potential that I could just sell short one of those inefficiencies. But that's not really my model. So if I won't get any opportunity, I might try to get in a position like that to have a trading day. But I will still try to wait as much as I can for that model to present. Let's say even now it's trading in a 30-second fair value gap. But we are in the middle of this range. So for me to pick which side is going to go next is really hard. Let's see if we will have on the 15-minute the fair value gap here formed. That might be interesting for us to know. Let me go to mark regular trading. Then we can see we had from yesterday this gap right here, which was not yet filled. We have still this void that hasn't been traded to. And also we ended up over here. So let's see where we will open. That might also have a big part on the trading today. We have more than 12 minutes until 9:30 opening. So maybe I will probably wait until the time so I can see how market starts to reprice and what can I favor more based on the pricing from that point. I want to be also more careful with my trading because yesterday I was really not that satisfied with what I have done. Even when I was reviewing my recording, I checked what I was saying before taking that loss. And I was even frustrated with myself that I even spoke out loud that at that point where the market was, I was saying that now I would like to try to look for shorts. But I don't know why the market just overwhelmed me and I just tried to chase the market because I was thinking that it will just reach higher. And I got just eaten by my emotions, and I put a trade which had completely zero, not really like good narrative behind it. Why I took it, it was not high quality. I was not favoring it from that point that it will reach higher. I was saying that I want to go short, and for some reason I went in long, and I got stopped out in the first minute or two. I was really not satisfied with how I managed that. So I will try to focus on today as much as I can and take really the best trade I can. If I don't have my model, I might look for a silver bullet as well. But I will try to be careful and really have my focus at the best point I can have. So as I was saying, there was an option to go short from, there is a fair value gap on the 30-second chart. Also on the 1 minute, there is a fair value gap here, there is a fair value gap here, there is no fair value gap in here. There was also a fair value gap here with this breaker, which is really nice. You could utilize both of them together. That would be a really good opportunity. You would already get like almost 60 handles. And I was thinking that somewhere around this area, the fair value gap was 287.5, something like that. 287.5. So from here to maybe the new day opening gap, and that's what I would try to target at first. That will be a nice first partial. We can start the markets. We can start to see market going quite back. But that's why I didn't want to take it, because I'm not sure how it will react once the news were released. We swept the sell side. Then when the opposite way, now we are coming back into this price range. So it will be difficult to say. So I think now we are trading inside the 50%. So we will need to see what's going to happen from this point on. It might reverse and go higher again from here. So let's see. I'm not sure if I was checking much the 15-minute. Actually, on the news releases, we went inside the 50-minute fair value gap here as well. On the 5-minute, there is also a fair value gap here, where I think we actually even respected the midpoint of that fair value gap. So we can see here, this is the void. Basically the new day opening gap. The void would be if there is no trading at all. So we have these equal lows here, which could be a really good sell side liquidity with this one as well, because it's quite relative same low. And on the 1 minute, yeah, so once it was created, we wicked down and then we traded higher. But this is the new day opening gap. Basically, we closed at 16:59 on Monday, and then on 6 p.m. we opened up and created this new day opening gap. So it might be an important level for today. If I would want to go long in any of this price range, I don't know. I'm leaning more maybe to the downside just because how much we moved and how we were starting to navigate lower, even on Thursday and Friday. So this is Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. So as we were seeing those strong movements lower, I think I would favor more to really start seeing those bearish market conditions. But it's going to be difficult for me to say when that will happen and if we will get that today. If I can check from a higher perspective, where we have Monday. So this is Monday. So what we have done so far, we opened up, we made a swing high, then we traded lower. Then on Tuesday, we made a new high of the week, then made a new high again, And we might see that for the entire week, this could be the high of the week. We can see that maybe on the Tuesday or Wednesday, when we will have a bearish week, that during Monday or Tuesday, we will have the high of the week. So we might really see bearish movements from here on. I think that would be a really good scenario. But then again, I don't want to really hold my bias strongly for this. So let's just see how the market behaves. And I will just probably comment once the 9:30 opening will be hit. So let's just for now review the price and let's see if there will be anything interesting that I will note. Now I'm looking that we have swept this high and this high. Well, basically we made it the same equal high. I have a 30-second fair value gap to go short, 31775. But I don't know if I want to try it. I'm thinking to go maybe just 3 micros. But to be honest, it's quite a difficult trade. I would still like for it to draw up here. But maybe, I'm not sure. To be honest, I would rather wait for more. I'm not going to enter it. It would be a good opportunity. This is a good trade. But I would, for myself, just because of my yesterday's performance, I want to require more. So I'm not going to enter it even though it will be still valid and a good opportunity to go short here. I want to be more safe and I want to demand more of a buy side sweep. We might see that from this point on, it will just, the whole day, it will keep running lower. But I'm fine with it. So the gap was, just to highlight it, was from 32175 and it was 31975. So this was the fair value gap. So I could have actually entered even with a better entry. But based on my previous performance, I didn't want to do it that quick. Actually, I could have almost got stopped out. But yeah, so the first target would not be hit yet. For sure, I would aim for 20 handles as a first target. But then again, it is still a good valid trade. And we can see we would actually get the first target hit. So it was, as I said, a good trade, but I just wanted to demand more. And unfortunately, based on my yesterday's performance, I'm not that confident based on what I see here. But I said, we swept this high. We made the new equal high, which should be considered as a liquidity sweep, where you can see it even delivered 48 immediately. So this would be a really nice trade if I took it. So I didn't, and unfortunately, it ran without me. We have now sweep of these lows, but just a tiny bit. And in order for me to position myself in a short, that would be really difficult. I'm trying to check on ES. That maybe I will try to trade ES. Because there is still opportunity on ES to get in a short on the 30-second chart. But I'm thinking if maybe we will get an opportunity to go long here. So this would be a really, really nice trade. It delivered more than 4-1 risk to reward. I think on ES it's no longer valid because it's took out the sell side liquidity as well. We can see we are now touching the new day opening gap. Let me mark also this opening trading range. So we now reprice the whole new day opening gap. We are coming back down to the opening range. Now I'm thinking if I am sad that I didn't take this trade, on one side, yes, because I could already have the payout. I could already have enough balance to request the payout. But yeah, unfortunately, my performance wasn't the best. So I just was hesitant and I didn't want to take any premature entry where I wanted to demand a bit more. So unfortunately, we were not able to capitalize on this. We are still running lower. But this would be a really nice trade. It delivered like in 3 minutes immediately. No consolidation, no hesitation. It went down straight. After the entry, when I was filled, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 candles, which means on a 30-second chart, that's 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minute trade resulting in almost 50 handles, which in my books is insane. But let's see if we can get anything else today. So we now reprice the whole opening range. And I'm thinking that if we might get some bullish movement now, because this is now a real nice buy-side liquidity. But I think I'm going against my bias over here that I wanted to go short. But I think the damage was already done. We have still this low and the sell side liquidity from here. And maybe perhaps all the way down here for yesterday's AM session. But this is a good potential zone to look for the opposite direction. We repriced the new day opening gap. We repriced the entire opening range gap. We went down and respected the midpoint of this 8:30 news release wick. We swept these lows. On ES, We didn't quite get yet to the 5-minute wick, but we are still respecting it, which is fine. But we even had a bit of a SMT with this one. I would really love if the high, which was done here, was at least one tick higher. In that case, I would 100% enter. But I just didn't get it. And as it was the same high, we can see the high of this candle is 18,339. This one is the same, 18,339. So there was not even a tick above. It was the same high, which I didn't like because I was scared it might go there again. And this was like 1 minute after 9:30, which is mostly the most volatile. And I was a bit scared to enter this one. Even though in my opinion, as I was saying, it is a good trade, it is valid, I could enter it. I was trying to, but I wanted a bit more. But let's see if we will maybe get some higher prices from here. We have made a new low at 940. So we had the same on ES. We traded through the 830 wick. We have no fair value gap yet to take any longs. In case I wanted to favor the opposite direction, I'm not yet that confident. I would need to see the price action if it's really that strong. I was thinking we might get a fair value gap now, but it just got rebalanced. So we're just tapping in. Also that I'm looking, we are tapping in this new day opening gap. So price started moving slowly around this level, which really gives me an idea that we really might be looking for higher prices now that we repriced the entire opening range and even went inside this new day opening gap and the 50% of this wick from news releases. What would be nice to see is some SMT. So let's say if NASDAQ comes down, sweep this low, whereas ES would not, and we would see some buy side imbalance. That would be nice to see. We might even get it now. ES is not that low, but it might just reach for the sell side liquidity. So we get SMT, which I was saying that it would be nice to see. But as we are so close as well to this sell side liquidity, I'm not sure if it's smart to look for longs here. The next candle can just open and rip through. But maybe it would be good if we get the sweep of this low and then we have a market structure shift on the 30-second chart. So yeah, we are going for this wick for sure. ES has quite a different price action right now. It's not yet even taking the lows which were made here. And I would not be very confident in taking any longs from here before this is swept. We are very close to sweeping it actually. It was just, I don't know. On here it looks much more on the micros rather than on the standard mini contract. I think on the standard mini contract it actually was even tapped. Yes, it made the same low, whereas on the micros it didn't. It's quite different price action here. But I think it's because we are now just transitioning in this contract where the volumes and open interest changes. So on the NQ, we did already we were like over here somewhere. So on the micros, I do not demand more. Because on NQ, we already did it on the NQM 2024. As you can see, we already made it new low. So also on the micros, we did it. ES is not yet so low, but we might see just lower prices the whole day. So even from my entry, it went down already 120 handles. I'm not sure if I would be holding until here. Probably not. But yeah, this was an insane trade if I would take it. Unfortunately, I didn't. And I'm not sure if I can get in any other move. I don't think so. So I will probably need to wait a whole lot more for anything. We are just seeing from this repricing, we're just seeing strong movement to the downside. ES is starting to follow. It's slowly building up to the sell side liquidity here, and NQ might just reach down here. It already also took these ones. We are now repricing to a 30-second CB, but I'm not taking it as it is so low. It could have been a good opportunity if it really just reaches down quick, which is still 50 handles, that's really a lot. But it just might retrace now, maybe somewhere here. And I wouldn't want to have a bad trade like that. So I think on ES, we are also in... Oh, I have a different contract opened. Okay, never mind. I had a different contract on ES. I was looking at something else. So the first 15 minutes of the price action, we can see we went straight down. So I'm not sure how we will react from this point on. We are again trading inside this BC, which we have done multiple times, but we were not able to went lower. So I'm not sure if we will get again some scenario where we will respect it and go higher again. On the 4-hour, it's quite difficult to say as we are very close to these swing lows. We also here respected the 1-hour fair value gap. A straight movement to the downside. I think we might be just going down and maybe really sweeping these lows. That's really what can happen. So even on the 1-minute chart, we did get tapped here where we could position ourselves for a continuous trade, which could result in 55 handles. But in my opinion, if I would do that, my stop would still be the same 10 handles, which is really, really small. And with a downfall like this, it can easily retrace even here if it wants to, maybe even to these inefficiencies. So that's something I don't want to do yet. But I might be having a fair value gap on the BC candle. And I'm thinking if I want to do it, because on ES we have not taken this low. And it might be an opportunity because it is SMT. We had a significant sell-side liquidity being swept. And unfortunately, I'm not able to position myself in any shorts right now. But to favor maybe some retracement higher, we could get that. But I'm not sure. So I will try it. Why my stop loss is so small again? Should be like this. I was also thinking today about my entries, how I'm trying to enter. So let's say there are a few candles which are forming a fair value gap, right? So it can be either a down close candle or even up close candle. It doesn't matter. I could be even entering once it is formed. That maybe I don't even need for the markets to reprice down there. Because if it's really strong and it's running, I might not get tapped in. And it happened a few times. So maybe I should even think about how I am executing those trades. That maybe I should be even entering once it is formed. But yeah, it's probably running without me here. I want to see something on ES. Okay, ES has much more. Oops, I did something and I don't know what I did. Okay. So we have how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I can allow one more candle to try to tap me in. But it already went 25 handles. So I'm not sure if I can get more than that in one candle to retrace and still be a good trade. Maybe I will just not get the opportunity. This is what I would target, if I'm being honest. And maybe like close 3 around here, have 1 here, and maybe try to hold this one and aggressively move my stop. But this is probably just running without me. So how many candles that is? So this is formed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the 6th candle, and this is outside my rules. And unfortunately, it's running again without me. So I was not able to catch this one. I could have entered once it was formed, but when I even think about my entries before, if I didn't hit my limits, many of those trades would made me a losing trade because of how small my stop loss is. If I would do my entries based on the fair value gap just being formed, I would need to also make adjustments for my stop loss. So just to show, we can see the sell side liquidity on ES was not swept. So we had SMT there, and that's what I was trying to basically trade. We have a 1 minute fair value gap here, which could be potentially used for a trade idea. But I'm not sure if I want to use that. My stop loss would be just down here. Yeah, it's very small. So today is really tough. At least I'm trying to improve my performance, which I'm glad for. But I'm just quite disappointed that I was not able to get into this move. Even though I saw the setup, I almost took it. I was opening the trade execution window, but I was just demanding a bit more, so I didn't get it. So even on the 1 minute, we are still not even able to take any entry. On ES, we had no opportunity also to get in long. It's just slowly building back up. But maybe if we get these highs swept, that we will go back again to this new day opening gap. We could probably even look for another short. Because coming back to the 50% of the range of this, this price leg. So we already traded through the 50%. And the 50% is also the high of the new day opening gap. So maybe this will be something that I will try to maybe go short. But I'm not sure if the market is just strongly bullish and it just wanted to go for the sell side liquidity again, which was made at 8:30, and it will now reach higher for these equal highs, and also the buy side liquidity here and the 4-hour fair value gap here. So this is already another 100 handles to the upside. On ES, we are seeing similar price action. We traded already through this CB. So it is probably reaching up for this high. Yeah, I'm quite sad that I was not able to get this as well. Once the fair value gap was formed, the next candle just didn't even wick down. It went straight up, really strong. Now we are also coming back to the 50% of the range of the opening range gap. This is the 50%. Let's see if maybe this will be the point where we can start seeing lower prices. The thing is, just because I missed basically one trade I missed, which was the one that I should have taken for today, and then I didn't miss, but I didn't get opportunity to get into a trade on the second one to buy from here. I am feeling a really impatient and a FOMO here, that I just want to get something. Yeah, that's not good how I feel right now. I can really feel that I'm feeling disappointed, not angry, but unhappy with myself that I didn't take the trade. At any other point, I would, but maybe because of just yesterday's performance, I didn't want to do it. So we traded inside this 1 minute fair value gap. So let's see how the market behaves. We almost touched again the high of the new day opening gap, but just barely. ES is slowly getting to these highs that created from 9:30. And to be honest, I don't think that in the next half an hour we will see another like low resistance liquidity run like this. Like this is really fast, one-sided. And I think now we will see quite the price slowing down and not be that good. At least in my opinion, I'm not sure. But still trading inside this CB. But I assume we are going indeed for these highs. No retracements, just one-sided here, one-sided here. ES is almost at the high here. So how much handles was this? 30 handles down, almost 30 handles back up. That's a lot of movement for ES, I think. ES doesn't move sometimes even half of that for the entire day. So we are almost back up at the opening range high. But for now, there is no real good setup for me to take. Maybe this was still a good potential just because it was repricing to a fair value gap, back to the new day opening gap. That from here to the sell side liquidity, it could have been a nice entry, but I would need to really incorporate a lot of risk for the stop loss. I can even feel my hands being a bit cold, how stressed I am that I didn't take it. I'm thinking if I would want to get short in here. Now, based on my rules, I would need to get at least some form of buy side liquidity to be swept. Whereas in here, we just touch this small breaker in here, trade inside this fair value gap. We might see again the market going down here, but I would not like it. And also just because we already swept the sell side and we came back so much in this price range, it's really difficult to build a narrative. I will probably try to enter this short, even though it's not really that my model, but if there is any opportunity to get into a short, I think. And as I said, this is my impatience also kicking in. Unfortunately, is my entry even 28275, 283? Okay, I had better entry, but then again, this is just my impatience kicking in. The FOMO that I didn't get in any position in here or in here. So if this turns out losing, I'm just closing it, and unfortunately I was not able to get into anything today. So if I would see the market going down, like this low would be my first target, but I'm not confident in this. I think it will be just stop me out because there is no reason for the market to just drop here just because it respects this fair value gap. I mean, there are many fair value gaps which it wasn't respecting. And this is just something that I want to. It's not good. I'm not really happy that I did this. I'm just basing the entry and the shift based on this fair value gap, which is not really that strong in such a movement like this. I do believe it's going to stop me. I do believe. I don't think it will now start running as it was running here. Because it already done it in the session. And I think it's too much to demand from the market to do the same things. So yeah, as I was saying, it was not a good trade. And the FOMO kicked in, the stress. So unfortunately, we will end up today with a losing trade. At least I lowered my risk. I put only 3 micros. So the lose is not that bad. But I'm not happy that still at a time like this, I'm not able to control myself. I still get overwhelmed with the emotions and I do enter a trade. Even though I know it's a bad trade, I don't favor it at all. But that's something I just need to work on. So I don't believe I will enter another one. It would really need to be like the best setup that I could find, even better than this one or this one. But yeah, I will probably just review the market. So as I was entering this trade, I can tell that I was really stressed. I even said during this move that I could already feel my hands being cold, that I didn't take this one and this one. I was stressed that it's running without me on both directions. And now that I'm checking that, what I could have done is, as we are in the silver bullet time window, I could trade this fair value gap right here. That this was really, when I was saying that it's going for these highs and maybe here, I could really just took a trade here. My stop would be still quite aggressive, but look, target here 60 handles, which is still such a huge amount of profit. I could easily take out in the few minutes, like my first target, probably here on this high. And yeah, I missed this. I still tried to look for like a bigger move. I wasn't maybe thinking that this is that much high, but I was still just trying to look for something. I just wanted something. I'm not sure if my impatience will even kick in more, if I will enter on anything else. Hopefully not, but as I feel today, I do feel quite impatient. I'm thinking that maybe I will enter here really soon. On ES, I can see we already take out these highs. So I'm thinking that if I really want to maybe take a long here. But maybe the opportunity also too late. And we have another CB here on the 30-second chart. I'm thinking if I want to go short, just because we have SMT with ES, and I'll probably do it, even though it's another bad trade. But yeah, this is the impatience that is kicking in, even though I should be still favoring highs for those equal highs. I guess my stop loss is again wrong. 323, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't want to go long here. This is just really bad. Okay. What I will do right now is I'm going to close the charts. I think I did pretty enough damage today. I lost 119, which is not that bad because if I would have one losing trade with the leverage I wanted to trade today, which would be 5 micros, that would be 100. So with those two trades, I just lost like 20 more. So I will probably close it here, I'm not sure. Impatience is kicking in. I'll maybe review the price. I will see. This is my last trade for today. If this is going to be bad, I'm immediately closing the charts. And unfortunately, I will not be even commenting anything. Because this is already the third trade. And I'm just getting FOMO'd so much. And I need to really control myself. I'm doing stupid decisions, stupid trades. And yeah, okay. Unfortunately, this is something that I'm also fighting with. So at least you can guys see that I'm really not a good trader. I do get FOMO'd a lot. But I didn't do maybe that much damage that I do usually. But I will try to avoid more damage that I can do, as I was not able to get in this move that I was able to identify that might happen. But now I'm getting chopped. So unfortunately, I will just avoid this and I will close it here. Try to take some rest, think about my mistakes, and just do better tomorrow and throughout this week. So thank you very much for watching. Even though this wasn't that much of a good video, and I'm not going to be really glad to be even releasing it, but I need to be transparent. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and I will see you in tomorrow's trading session.